Okay, welcome. For the time that we have together today, there is nothing that you need to achieve, nothing you need to make happen. There's no one you need to please, and nothing you need to be that you are not already. So, welcome home. Let the weight of yourself be fully in your body and fully on your mat. And as best that you can during these yoga nidras, set your intention to stay as still as you can once you've found stillness, and as present as you can. Knowing that if you do drift off, it's fine too. And if you do need to change position, that's fine too. We just set that intention for stillness and presence to be the reality of what we're doing here today. As you settle, be aware of the space around you, of the sounds inside and outside the room. And then just let them drift. Be aware of the differing light and temperatures in the room, of where the sun hits and the shade, of whether you're in the shade or in the sun, of which parts of you are warmer and which parts of you are cooler, and be aware of that, and then again, just let that drift. Honour the space inside of you, the little niggles and messages of the body, anything that your body's telling you, or any thoughts that are passing through your mind, and again, just allow them and let them drift. Bring yourself to a place where what you are left with is the experience of the practice and the sound of my voice. And as you do that, it may be that spontaneously, naturally, what arises within you is a need or a desire for today's practice, an intention, something that you want to achieve as part of today, a way that you want to feel maybe that's different. And if that happens, honour it. But you don't need to look for it. If you think at the end of today, I really want to be in a place where I am less stressed or more rested or knowing something different, whatever it is. Honour it. And then again, just let it drift. Treat anything that I tell you as an invitation rather than a command. And so I invite you to gently squeeze and release your right hand. Maybe once, maybe 2 or 3 times. Just squeezing and releasing in any way that makes sense to you. Doing the same with the lower arm now, the lower right arm. And the upper arm. Doing something similar with the right shoulder and side of the neck. Moving down into the right side of the belly, the right thigh and kneecap. The right calf. And finally, the right foot. Moving to the left hand now. Again, just a gentle squeeze and release in some way. On the lower arm. On the left upper arm. The left shoulder. The left side of your belly or waistline. The left thigh and kneecap. The left calf. And finally the left foot. And just for a moment now, squeezing or scrunching the muscles of the whole of the face up and releasing them. Again, you can do that maybe once, maybe 2 or 3 times. And lastly, the whole body, just a gentle squeeze, like an internal hug all the way through the system, all the way through the body, and release. Find stillness once more. I'm going to ask you to rotate your awareness now around the body once more, and this time all you need to do, as I name each part of the body in turn, is bring the focus of your attention to that place and then let it drift. Let yourself move on. We'll begin with the right hand thumb. Right hand thumb. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the right hand, right wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, right armpit, shoulder blade, right side of the chest, right side of the waist, right hip, right buttock, right side of the groin, right thigh, right knee, right calf, ankle, heel of the right foot, sole of the foot, top of the foot, and now each toe on the right foot in turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The thumb of your left hand now. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the left hand, left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, left armpit, shoulder blade, left side of the chest, left side of the waist, left hip, left side of the groin and buttock, left thigh, left knee, left calf, left ankle, heel of the left foot, sole of the foot, top of the foot, each of the toes of your left foot in turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right heel, left heel, right ankle, left ankle, back of the right calf, back of the left calf, back of the right knee, back of the left knee, back of the right thigh, back of the left thigh, right buttock, left buttock, the full length of the spine. Right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, the neck, back of the head, top of the head, the forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, center of the eyebrows, right eye and eyelids, left eye and eyelids, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, the bridge of the nose, right nostril, left nostril, upper lip, lower lip, chin, throat, chest, belly, groin, right leg, left leg, right arm, left arm. The whole of the body, released, relaxed, present. The whole of the body. The whole of the body. And there's no need for sleep. There is, in fact, relaxed and complete awareness in stillness, just following the sound of my voice. Being aware just for a moment of all of the places in which your body meets the floor or the bolster or the mat or the blanket. The meeting points between you and your world. Being aware of the touch of your eyelids against each other. Being aware of the touch or the space between your lips, whether they are together or gently parted. Being aware of the spaces and the places that touch between your fingers. And imagining now that your whole body is increasingly heavy. That within the body there is a gentle melting downwards, a softening towards the floor and even slightly into it. As if the whole body is heavy. Release that sensation for me now and imagine that the whole body is light. As if the whole body were gently floating away from the floor, with each breath gently lifting, getting lighter, brighter. Can you move between those two sensations, those two states? Can you imagine a body that is heavy? Can you feel it as fully as you can in this moment? And then release it and enter into a sensation of the body as light and bright and floating gently away from the floor. If you can, explore the difference backwards and forwards between those states. Can you somehow imagine being both of them at the same time? And then let that go, let that drift. And I invite you to bring the focus of your attention, the focus of your awareness to the space between the eyebrows, the Chiddakash, the space of dreams and of imagination. And imagine for me now that in one hand you hold a golden thread. And throughout our time together today, that golden thread is always with you. So if at any point you just get a little lost or you get a bit, you're not quite sure where you are and things, know that that golden thread will always take you home. And then just for a moment, can you imagine the following things for me, as fully as you can? Damp earth beneath your feet. The heat of a warm fire. A perfect pink lotus flower. The flame of a lit candle. A weeping willow gently moving in the breeze. And a tall palm tree. The scent of flowers on a warm summer's day. A sudden torrential downpour of rain. The crispness of snowy mountains. The sharpness of peeling of fruit. The sound of a bell in the distance. A temple bell ringing in the distance. The statue of a smiling Buddha. And a shaven-headed monk. A ruined temple under a Greek sunrise. The cross above a church. An Egyptian pyramid in the distance. And now birds flying across the sunset. And the stars at night. A full moon. And a rising sun. Letting all of that go, imagine now walking through a forest. It can be one that you know or remember, or one you're just imagining. And as you're walking through that forest, as the sun sets, imagine turning a corner and finding a small temple or just a simple shelter, whatever makes sense to you. I invite you to enter. And there, in the dim light of candles burning, is a seated figure in the gloom, in the shadow. And if you'd like to, you can take your seat by their side. There's nothing you need to say necessarily. You're just sitting in quiet companionship together, focusing as you do so on your own heart center. As you imagine yourself there, is there wisdom to be heard? Is there anything that you want to hear right now? Whenever you're ready to, you can thank the figure in whatever way makes sense to you, and return along that forest path with the golden thread in your hand. Walking out into the warm night air. Little by little now, come back to the experience of the physical body, of the physical breath. Little by little, invite that breath to begin to deepen and lengthen again. And begin to wriggle and stretch into your fingers and into your toes. Start to make those movements a little bigger, maybe a little fuller. Listening to the body. So if you want to take the arms overhead and stretch long and full, you can do that. If you want to hug the knees into the chest, give yourself a good squeeze, you can do that. Take all the time that you need, but in whatever way makes sense to you, in your own time. Bring yourself up to a comfortable sitting position, please. Thank you.